What's up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Planet Zoo. In the last episode, we finished this beautiful underwater viewing area for our saltwater crocs, but it doesn't really get a lot of attention, which I personally am super sad about, but we're not gonna let it get us down. All right, we're gonna truck on, we're gonna move on to the next exhibit, and today we're gonna do some timber wolves. I can say it now. It's going to be the thumbnail. It's going to be in the title somewhere. So I'm not gonna try to hide from it. All right. We do also have some news for the saltwater crocs before we get on to today's actual episode. We have some offspring due. January year 89. Can you guys believe that? The zoo has been open for 88, almost 89 years already. It doesn't seem like it's that old, but I guess I do kind of fast forward time pretty often. Animal is stressed. I wonder why. Look at this disaster. Look at this. There's absolutely no way that people can actually make it into the viewing area for our flamingos. It's a nightmare. I would not want to go to this zoo if that's what I had to go through just to get to an exhibit. So while I wish I could adjust this somehow, there's just really no good way to go about doing it. I've already tried to widen the path as much as possible, and that really didn't seem to solve it, so I just resorted back to the standard size. I believe this is 30 feet. Maybe not. Maybe it's like 26. But the largest path you can do is a 33, which we have done elsewhere, but not there. Where are we going to put this new habitat? I had this really cool idea, or at least I think it's a cool idea. I'm gonna pause things because the notifications and everything are just a huge distraction for me. I had this cool idea to basically make a walkthrough exhibit, but unlike what we did with the tortoise shell, which I think is what I'm gonna start calling the tortoise dome. The tortoise shell just sounds way cooler, and it's kind of punny. So unlike what we did in here, I do want there to be physical walls, but I'm not gonna use a barrier as a wall. I'm going to use the architectural items for a wall, and rather than use one-way glass for a barrier, I'm just gonna use regular old building glass. And hopefully, I haven't fully tested this yet, so I don't really know if it's gonna work, but hopefully we can get a nice sort of drop-down viewing area where the window sort of starts about chest high. That way you can have a more close-up view of the animal. You're gonna be sort of locking eyes with the timber wolves. I don't know if this is going to work, like I said, but I do think it's a really cool idea. I think it's a unique idea, so that's what we're gonna try to tackle today. So I did already, as you can see, place down a little bit of a starting platform. I don't want this to take forever today. I really wanna move on. I wanna record some other stuff today. If this takes more than 5 hours like the previous episodes do, there's absolutely no way I'm going to be able to record anything else. I sort of gave myself a head start this morning, and I spent maybe an hour or so just trying to figure out, get the building blocks placed down so we can, make this go decently fast, I suppose. So not only do we have the base foundation of this path placed down already, but I have already started a barrier. This is probably way too big for most timber wolves, but I know that they do like large area. They like to run a whole lot. So my idea here is that I want a sort of underpass for people to walk through, but also allow the wolves to walk over top of that viewing area. So I don't know if I'm gonna do rock, if I'm gonna do something. I gotta do something. I have to have some way for these wolves, even if it's a bridge, to just get over the top of the viewing area so that they can make it over to this side. But unlike the other exhibits, I'm actually not going to use glass for this one. I'm going to use the surrounding barrier as probably this wooden one here, just because it's nice and rustic. I don't know if the resistance grade is good enough for timber wolves, but I suppose we'll find out. So first things first, we should probably add a habitat gate first. Nah, screw it. Let's just go straight into the animal market and we'll see if there are any decent timber wolves for sale. Gold star right here. Lucas is for sale. Longevity is pretty weak though, Lucas. You could be better. What about Tempest? Tempest is solid. A little under 2,000 conservation credits. What are some of these? Those are pretty bad. Venom, look at that. Somebody else is using the number technique for naming the animals. I like that, dude. It does help. It really does. Oh, this animal is approaching old age and may become infertile. Okay, so those two we probably don't want. Arya's about dead, so we definitely can't use her at all. All of these are way too old. All right, let's refresh the list and we'll see what we're working with. Lucas, really, longevity, I mean, yeah, that sucks. They don't live long to begin with anyways, so maybe that won't be the end of the world, but we need a good female with a decent longevity so that our babies can at least live for a long time. Oh, dude, let's go with Yule right here. Chris Park, thank you so much for Yule. That's very dope. We're just gonna move him to the trading center. Actually, yeah, we have to because we don't have a habitat gate yet. All right, who we got up next? We just need one decent female with hopefully a longevity above 50%. That would be nice. Tempest. Oh, but she's 8. I feel like we already saw her once. But you know what? 8 years old, maybe there's a possibility that we could get some bebe from her to start things off. So let's just do that. Just shy of 2,000 conservation credits. Why not, dude? We're swimming in conservation credits right now. 57,000 CCs, baby. That's what I like to see right there. All right, low welfare. I get it. I get it. The flamingos are not doing so hot. It's understandable. Their habitat is kind of horrible. And it doesn't help that it's at the very start of the zoo. So anyone that walks in, of course, is going to go straight to them. That's why we have this big cluster of people on the bridge there. But anyways, back to our timberwolf habitat. I guess we should probably add that habitat barrier now, or habitat gate. God, it's gonna be a long day if I'm already struggling to speak in the beginning of the episode. Let's drop this down right there. And then I'm gonna use this same path system that we used for our saltwater croc keeper area. And I think I'm just gonna plop another building down somewhere over here. I can't have it too close to this path because then the guests will hate everything. That doesn't look too bad. We could also have our saltwater croc keeper double as our timberwolf keeper, but I feel like that's going to make them a little rushed and they probably won't do as good of a job. So let's take this building. We're gonna duplicate it and drag her over to the right. All right, that doesn't look too bad. We'll place that down there. At least the path connects. And with that done, we're of course going to need another keeper. Dude, we have so many keepers. We have 9 keepers in total, and Zachary Brown, you are lacking, dude, on your rating, on your prestige. Wait, what are you even doing? Monkey, peacock, turtle, llama, flamingo, lion, ostrich, elephant. Oh, okay. So we forgot to set him to the saltwater crocs. Croc keeper zone. There we go. All right. Dodged a bullet there. So let's grab another keeper and we'll plop you down right over here, old buddy, old pal. Now we're gonna have to make a new work zone specifically for the timber wolves. We're gonna select those, not this habitat. That was a mistake. And they're also going to use this staff resting facility right there. Should work out just fine. I can't imagine there's gonna be too many people in it at once. Sweet, dude. We're already like halfway done with this habitat. So let's rename this Timber Wolf. Yeah, not even Timber. Let's just do Wolf. Wolf Keeper Zone. Done deal. All right, and I'm not gonna make the same mistake that I did with the Crocs. I'm gonna let you hit the ground so we can at least click on you. There we go. Ryan Pachico. Lovely name. All right, buddy. We're gonna put you on the Wolf Keeper Zone. Finito. And then whenever you can be trained. Why are you... That is not the wolf habitat, you idiot. Ryan, I think you're in the wrong area. Let's just double check. That is definitely Croc. Okay. And Wolf Keeper Zone, that is definitely the Wolf Keeper Zone. Okie dokie then. I guess they're just trying to cover for whoever is normally in charge of the Crocs that's just not taking care of them for whatever reason. That's fine. I like that. Good teamwork there on that one, Ryan. Okay, but before we can get our Timberwolves placed in this new exhibit, we do have to edit the barrier because right now they can just run freaking wild. There we go, and we're gonna make it wood logs. Again, I do still have to check to make sure that the resistance grade is good enough, so I suppose we should probably do that. It is a resistance grade of 3, so let's go to our Zoopedia. Timberwolf, already pulled up, that's fantastic. Grade 2. All right, done deal. And 1.25 meters. What's a meter again? Is a meter 3 feet? 3 feet and 3.37 inches? I don't know, dude. I don't know. It don't matter, though. It don't matter. Our barrier shows that it's 89 feet tall, so that should be plenty. I know it's not actually 89 feet tall. I think it's bugged. I'm really not sure why it keeps telling me it's way taller than it actually is, but we're gonna keep moving right along here. I actually really like the wood fence, and that's gonna sort of prevent the guests from gathering on the main path, and hopefully that will encourage them to actually go into this wonderful viewing area that we're gonna make for them. All right, let's open up our animal storage, and let's move Tempest and Yule. Okay, good. I did get a male and a female. I was worried there for a minute. We're gonna move them into their new habitat. Hopefully they like it. Habitat 25, dude. Lucky number 25. I'm all about it. All right, let's let things play out so we can get the caretakers and keepers to start bringing that dude and dudette over. Also, while we're waiting, if you guys are enjoying the series, make sure you drop a like on the video. It'd be greatly appreciated. Do it just to help support future episodes, so I know that people actually enjoy this stuff. All right, here comes the first one. Another thing to note with the Timberwolves is I believe they like snowy habitats. So we're probably going to be placing down a little bit of snow. In that case, we're going to have to put in some coolers rather than heaters, which will be interesting. I don't think we've had to do that for any other habitat thus far. Look at that. Okay, so male, Yule, and female. So female is a little bit smaller. What is their genetic makeup like? She's a 75% on size, and he is also a 75%. Okay, so I guess the males are just a little bit larger. I did get an update that our mechanic can't reach the habitat. I'm so sorry to all the mechanics. I will adjust. Please bear with me a moment. I doubt they really even care, but we do still have to select that. And we're gonna keep it paused because I'm assuming they're gonna hate their terrain. Am I right? Yes, they absolutely hate it. So they do need hard shelter as well. So I'm thinking maybe we make them a cave. Like, how cool would it be to have a cave just over here with an opening maybe on the backside, and then there'd be windows in these corners so that the guests could actually watch them in the cave. I think it's cool. We'll see if it ends up working out that way. I hate to like make plans and then not be able to actually fulfill that, because I feel like it kind of ruins the episode. But I've done it before, I'll probably do it again, but I can try not to. Okay, so they have way too much short grass. Long grass is fine. They need more soil, they need rock, and they need a little bit of sand, and probably some snow would be good since they're from the timbers. So let's get going on the terrain really quick. I'm going to do rough rock throughout this area because since the terrain is gapped pretty far away from the path, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this whole brick thing that I did on the not monkey. I was told they're not monkeys, they're apes. My bad. Chimpanzee exhibit. I'm not going to be able to do that. Also, it looks kind of bad, so I'm going to try to stray away from that. And instead, I'm going to do something similar to what we did with the Crocs and that sort of mossy rock look. But I'll probably find a snowy rock, or possibly just a rock, so it doesn't look so weird. But nonetheless, we're gonna start by just adding some rock in this area to try to blend that in a little bit better whenever we do finish that. All right, we are pretty well capped out on the rock now. It looks horrible, I know. It'll look better later, I promise. Okay, so somehow we have to get rid of some of this short grass. I think we should probably do soil, maybe surrounding the rock. That might look okay. Okay, we still have too much short grass. Dang, dude. Oh, we can do this side. They do kind of like sand, but I feel like it'll look weird if we do sand. So I'm thinking let's drop the intensity of this to like 20%, and we'll just kind of do a quick pass through here. Just make it blend a little bit nicer. Not bad, not bad, but it could use some snow. We'll do that a little while later on after we, finish the terrain and everything. Animal currently has adequate plant and tree coverage. We're also going to add in some new trees. Maybe a couple of like foresty looking bushes and things, but I definitely want to do some really large spruce trees because I think they have snowy ones actually. Spruce, I know they had snowy ones in Planet Coaster. It looks like festive spruce. We could put Christmas trees in their habitat. I'm not really feeling it. It looks a little weird, I'm gonna be honest. But the black spruce, definitely a solid choice of plant coverage for this exhibit. They're Timberwolves, dude. This is what the timber is right here in a nutshell. And we have a bunch of different sizes as well. So it shouldn't end up looking too repetitive, hopefully. We could even add in some aspen trees. You can tell it's an aspen by the way it is, but more on that later. So their terrain is fine now. I think it's about time we turn our attention to a sick time lapse, and I'm gonna try to make this little underpass viewing area as well as add quite a bit of decoration into their habitat. So I'll see you guys here in a sec. Okay guys, I think this might end up being my favorite exhibit that I have ever made. I don't think I'm gonna be able to top myself on this one. It turned out exactly how I imagined it. Minus a couple of things here and there, but the things that I'm not super crazy about, actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and pause things because the rain's kind of annoying. The things I'm not super crazy about would be the fact that I added this massive fence at the top of the roof line here because I'm not really sure if they could escape. Say they get up onto this part. A part of me feels as though they may be able to get up onto the roof and then jump out of their habitat, in which case I added a fence. Hopefully it keeps them in. We'll see, I guess. Time will tell. But you guys, this thing is freaking elaborate. I just finished putting all the coolers down so that the snow would actually show up. It's very hard to place snow down when you don't have the coolers initially because the snow doesn't actually pop up. It's very, very weird. As soon as you place it down, it basically melts even if the game is paused. So now that I can actually see the snow, I'm starting to get a better feel for everything that's going on in here. I'm not super crazy about the rock work that I did. It was a little bit rushed, but I tried to keep it as, what's the word I'm looking for? Basically, I tried to make it so it didn't look repetitive, is what I'm trying to get at. But again, not super crazy with the end result, but I'm happy that this sort of cave that we made over here on this side actually gives them the hard shelter that they need. Again, over on this side, I have that massive fence. Something else I'm not super crazy about is on this side, the guest gate is much closer to the main path. It just isn't really gonna look the same as the other side, so just keep this fresh in your mind for a second. We're gonna head over here to the other side. See how there's more of a tunnel leading into the guest gate on this one? I like the look of this side a lot more, but at the end of the day, I don't think it really matters too much. As far as plants and everything like that go, I have a bunch of white sage bushes. I also have these bushes that I don't ever remember the name. Scaevola? I don't know, it doesn't matter. This actually is not a bush that they particularly like, just because it's not from their usual habitat area. But the trees definitely are, and boy are they tall. They're almost as tall as some of these baobab trees we have for our Indian elephants. I almost said African elephants. But wait until you see probably the coolest part about this exhibit. So the main idea was to have this sort of sunken down area where you could get face to face with the animals inside the exhibit, and I think we did actually accomplish that. Look at this, dude. So this little corner right here is peering into their cave, basically, and since it's raining, they're actually inside of the cave right now. Dude, just look at how cool this is. I can't say I've ever been to a zoo where there's been something like this, especially with a predator type animal such as the timber wolf, but people are already starting to make their way through here. Some of them are stopping, others are kind of using it as a shortcut, it looks like. But we have the female timber wolf over there, we have the male just over here, kind of eyeing everyone up. Dude, these boys and girls remind me a lot of Finn. You guys have probably heard me talk about Finn many, many times over, but he is part wolf. He's husky, not German Shepherd. We thought he was German Shepherd for the longest time. Doberman Pinscher, Alaskan Malamute, just a bunch of big breeds all in one, and he's massive just like these wolves, so that's pretty sick. Don't mind the little voice crack there. Ugh. Dude, I'm loving it. I'm loving it so much. So something that this area is missing, also, I don't even know if we necessarily need the guest gates, because it's not like the animals can escape. Like what we had to do for the peafowl over here, we had to put a gate because it's all open. You know, the peafowl can escape pretty easily, and they do anyways normally. But we don't have to worry about that, luckily, with the Timberwolf area. So, stuff that we're missing, of course, education boards, education speakers, but also donation bins. I did not really think about where I'm going to put the donation bins and whatnot. So I think a good spot would probably be over in this corner, just because that's kind of where the wolves tend to be. But regardless of this sort of being their cave, there are other good viewing areas as well. Look at this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I actually don't mind the rock that I placed kind of close to the foundation of the building. It blends in okay. The rain's kind of making it look a little bit better than normal, but like the views that you can get from inside here are just fantastic. I wanted to add in some benches and stuff so, you know, people could rest up, just take in the view. But with the path being as small as it is, I don't really see that being a possibility. If we did do that, I think it would be super, super cramped in here. And then on this side, again, amazing views. Over here in this corner, you can kind of see the start of their ramp that I made them, that I hope they use. Again, time will tell, but I made this so that they could basically go up and over the viewing area and into this little side over here. So I might add some enrichment items in the smaller section, and maybe their food and other stuff over in the larger section, just so that maybe that's going to increase the odds of them going over top of the viewing area. But I love it. It looks like a couple of people are starting to make their way over here. Also, with, oh, they had Bebe. Look at Bebe. We got some albino ones that somebody corrected me on and said, no, those are actually not albino because they have spots. The game considers that albino, so that's what I called them. But we have Bebe, dude. That's super cool. Hopefully we don't have too many Bebe. I know they don't really like Bebe very much. But since these people out here have just decided that, you know what, this is the best place to view the crocs from, I'm going to go ahead and add a little donation bin at the end of this path. Plop that down just in front of them. Right there looks pretty good. All right, and since we already have this in our hand, let's go ahead and we'll bring it into the Timberwolf exhibit. It's not bad. I don't know, dude. We'll see how people kind of react in this area. It's obviously a smaller path. If I could redo this, I do think I'd try to make it a little bit wider, but with that comes another challenge, which would be trying to make the building big enough to encompass such a large path. With the path being 13 feet or 13 meters wide right now, it was really easy to be able to build something over top of that because a standard wall, like a 4x4 wall, is the same width as a 13-foot or meter path. So what I'm gonna do now is go through and add in all of the habitat education boards and speakers and stuff. I'm gonna try to put those in front of the bare walls, not the windows, so it doesn't block their view. Ooh, actually, this is a super good idea. Rather than putting the one with the posts in that we normally do, this one here, I'm just gonna put the TV on the wall. That looks pretty good to me. It's gonna take a little bit longer because it'll auto snap kind of like this, which isn't ideal, but nothing I can't handle. Dude, look at that. This is perfect. When I try to do stuff in Planet Zoo and Planet Coaster as well, it tends to not really live up to the hype, but this one definitely does. I had a goal in mind, and I didn't set myself up for failure for once, which is nice. Now, as far as the speakers go, I was thinking about this. You don't really need them directly underneath each and every single monitor, I guess you would call it. I don't know what you would call this. Education board, monitor, same thing. It's a TV, basically. So what I'm gonna try to do instead is actually put the speakers in the ceiling, maybe in the floor. I'm not 100% sure just yet, but I'm gonna try to space them apart enough so that they don't intersect one another at like maximum range. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so I ended up putting them in the floor just because it was a little bit easier, and that way I could hide it a little bit better. But if I were to put them in the ceiling, they'd kind of stick through. Whereas like this, there's like inches in between each one, and every single speaker that I place down at least sort of intersects one of those TVs, monitors. Dude, it doesn't matter. It don't matter at all. But it stretches all the way back to the other side, and I'm gonna go ahead and place down the last one. There we go. All right, what else are we missing? Oh, that's right. You guys probably need some food. You probably need some water. So I suppose let's probably do that before I get too carried away and forget to feed you. So our keeper's gonna be entering back here. As far as the food tray goes, I think I wanna try to put it maybe in front of one of these windows with a donation bin just in front of it. That way, it'll sort of draw more people to it. We'll plop that down right about there. Next, they are going to need a water pipe because we didn't add any water for them. They don't really need any water, but we're going to put that over in front of this window right there. And surprisingly, we do have quite a few enrichment items already unlocked for this animal. I'm assuming it's from like the other cat, dog, canine type animals we've done previously. Like, actually, no, I did have timber wolves in a previous breeding grounds. Maybe we have everything unlocked for them already. I'm not sure. I'm gonna add a couple of things over on this side, like I said, just so maybe then they'll kind of venture over here. Hit play and let's check in on their enrichment now. Let me click on you here, big boy. Enrichment 100%. That's pretty good, dude. Yeah, we're at 600 out of 115 for their toy enrichment, so we're looking good there. Food enrichment is also good. I tried to add as many as I could because when they do have bebe, of course they're gonna need more enrichment. God, this is so dope. This is so dope. Oh, she's leaping on up here. Are you gonna go up the rest of the way, or are you just gonna hop off? I'm surprised they're climbing this side. I made it so that they could, but I wasn't sure if they would or not. Okay, I just have to make sure that she can't escape is the only thing. Please don't try to escape. I will be so sad. She's gonna go down and play with one of the balls or the cardboard box or something. Oh, she's going to the blood scent marker. Surprise, surprise. Look at that. If you were standing in here, if you were standing in here, this is what you'd see. A wolf dropping a load right in front of the window. Oh, you gotta love it. God, this is so cool, dude. I can't wait until we get more bebe and we can sort of fill up the area with more of these animals, because 2 isn't really the greatest. All right, we're just gonna pretend she didn't escape, so we're just gonna pretend that maybe they can't, or at least don't know how. Look at that. Freaking just majestic. Is she gonna jump off there? That's a big leap. You'd be pretty ballsy if you were about to do that. Okay, so what I want to look at now is the vet research. Oh, so it doesn't carry over. Oh, we had Arctic wolf, not timber wolf. We had Arctic wolf in the other breeding grounds that I had established. So maybe, I mean, there's a good possibility we'd be able to do this, but maybe I could basically take this one, completely just select everything, copy and paste it over to this side of the zoo, and then we could get some Arctic wolves and put them in there because their items and everything should be the same. Their food and all that should be the same, but nonetheless, we should probably put a vet on them to start their research. So we're gonna move Chung Hatfield onto the timber wolf, and I'm going to take off research on llama, research on ostrich, and research on the flamingo, because we don't really need them to be researching all those things. The more animals we get, the more vets we're gonna need, and they're very, very expensive to keep around. So I'm gonna just try to stick with what we got. Now that we've kind of gotten everything squared away, I do think I'm going to wind down this episode here. So once again, if you guys did enjoy, please leave a like, leave a comment, help support the dream by smashing that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Peace.